What's up, y'all? You know what's going on, man. It's Bezo803 on that social media. You're now tuned in to Big Motion Podcast. We got another exclusive interview. We got a heavy hitter in the building right now. Who we got in the building?
I don't know about heavy hitter, but you got Dr. Howard Conyers in the
I know
building.
he a little modest, but it's a heavy hitter right here.
Dr. Howard Conyers with Backyard Distillery in the building.
Hey, NASA scientist, barbecue pit master at the same time. Now he's in the spirits business. We can go on. And matter of fact, we got to be correct when we talking heavy right now. Put that doctor in front of his name.
That doctor? Hey, man. But I come right here from Clarendon County, though.
I love it, man. That's why we got you here. Big Motion. We showing people why we created this platform is to show people in the community and beyond that it's people out here that's doing positive things. Whether they doing real estate, whether they're doing music, whether they're having spirits, whether they're in education. I mean, we have people for mental health. Whatever it is, we trying to showcase. Because before us, it wasn't any platform. You can't just walk up to WLTX and
honestly, that's probably the reason I came over here, man. I'll tell you the truth. Like, this was my first time speaking on a platform in South Carolina.
Wow, man.
Unless it was a TV show or a newspaper article, but this was my first time.
I appreciate you for doing that, man. Speaking of TV shows and newspaper articles, for the people that may not know Dr. Howard Conyers, we talking New York Times, Southern Living, the Post and Courier, Barbecue Beat,
On a Petite,
TV shows that when I saw you on Man on Fire, the list goes on. This is a heavy hitter, like I said, man. So how does it feel to, have all the accolades for something that you love, because a lot of people strive. I know you got a long ways to go, but a lot of people striving to, get that notoriety, get them looks so they can push their brand forward. How does it feel to, get that people recognizing you for what you do?
I mean, like, the looks and the notoriety, like, I don't go after it. I go after it for the work and look at the culture. Like, one of the things about the culture that I represent is not on a national stage. And when you look at who on that national stage, it don't look like anybody look like you and me.
Right.
And so I do that work to represent this area to the fullest. And so with the barbecue, education-wise, like, I believe in it fundamentally. And anything is possible if you put in a little bit of hard work.
Right. So what made you, like I said, NASA scientist, great career. What made you say, hold on, I'm going to go back to my childhood? Because I read what you said, you cook your first hog at 11.
Yeah, so I've been cooking whole hog my whole life before then, but when I moved to New Orleans, Louisiana, it really kind of made me look at, and anybody know anything about music, like New Orleans is a mecca. I mean, for Southern rap music, living in a neighborhood like where you got the Magnolia or where the Hot Boys come through. I mean, knowing some of those DJs, heavy hitters, bounce music, they look at the culture and I'm like, hold up, I got a culture just as significant back in Clarendon County. And this whole hog barbecue was one of those things. And the culture in New Orleans that really kind of resonated to me outside of the music was really, they have something called Black Mask and Indian culture. And it's kind of like the carnival in the Caribbean. And that's how we celebrated it in the States during like Mardi Gras season. It's a whole different ball game. Like, y'all see Mardi Gras and y'all think about people doing the bees in the French Quarter, but it's a whole black side of Mardi Gras that a whole lot of people don't even know about.
Right. So, coming from, Clarendon County, how was it, getting accoladed to the culture in New Orleans? I'm pretty sure work took you there.
Work took me there, but like when you in a city like New Orleans, you got to get into the community, man. You just can't be out here and like, oh, I'm Dr. Howard Conyers. Nah, that don't matter. Like, really just got to really be grassroots and meet people and meet people where they are. Like, I'm a humble dude, but like going into communities, like I really want to earn my respect in that neighborhood. Like, I mean, I got some of the heaviest DJs in my phone number right now. Like, if you don't have like a DJ Wild Wayne or DJ Jubilee,
talk heavy, I know them names,
who create bounce music,
Big
like,
Motion.
I mean, so like when you know those individuals kind of on a personal basis, or going to studios with like where Trombone Shorty record his music. I mean, I know y'all probably not know about Trombone Shorty.
We know about that. Come on, man. This Big Motion podcast.
But all those aside, just being in that environment, you really kind of see the black culture. And I like, no, I'm putting South Carolina back on. Like, I can't forget about where I'm from because I want to make sure people who know who's starting South Carolina in rural South Carolina could go any place they want to go.
Right, man. That's big, man. I know the youth, can see this and say, hey, if he can do it, I can do it too. So we appreciate you for all the work that you've done, on the education side and all, everything you're doing, man. We want to champion you, keep you, really celebrate what you're doing, and don't take it lightly, because, a lot of youth out here we got a lot of violence, we got a lot of crazy stuff going on. So when they see somebody like you, anybody that's doing something positive, that's a light for them. That's showing them, hey, he's from where I'm from. Small town, and made it out.
Went to school with Mo Beats.
Yeah, big shot Mo Beats.
High school classmate. I don't know Mo Beats, but I know it's Marty Slimming. But hey, he might get mad at that. But hey,
big shot Mo Beats.
Mo Beats. But I went to high school with him.
Yeah, man. So that's major, man. So big shout out to everybody there having big motion and doing positive things in the community. But I want to take it all the way back to the beginning, because we talk about all the accolades. We talk about, where you're at now. You got the spirits out, some of the best in the world, y'all. Backyard Distillery. So let's take it back to, where you originally from, for the people that may not know.
I'm from Paxville, South Carolina. Paxville.
Yeah, they got like one stoplight, right?
One stoplight, and I didn't even live in the town limits of Paxville.
Wow.
I live more in what they call a home branch neighborhood of Clarendon County and Paxville.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I did a birthday party out there one time.
So that's kind of like my origin story. I've been out there. I grew up the whole life there. That's my life. I just went to school in Manning.
Right. Okay.
I did a lot of stuff in Sumter though.
Okay.
Both of my parents worked in Sumter. I was born in Sumter.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, all jokes aside, like my origin, most of my time I've been in Clarendon and Sumter County, like Paxville, Pinewood, Panola, Alkaloo.
Clay Cole, talk heavy.
Remini.
We got Clay Cole in the building, man. Big shout DJ Money Mook, all them guys.
So that's where I'm from. I'm proud of it. Like any publications you may see about me, I always shout out Paxville or Manning. And the reason I don't always put Paxville on there, because a lot of times people have a hard enough time finding Manning off I-95. So I just you know what, let me just make it somewhat simple.
Yeah. So what was childhood like for you, man?
Childhood, man, I just grew up on a farm. I always loved math and science. I was involved, but I just love math and science naturally. And math and science is fundamental to everything I do.
Right.
Whether being a rocket scientist and now with this spirits thing, like you don't make alcohol without understanding the sciences.
Right. I see where you built your pit, you engineered your own pit. So that poured in from your education as well. So
yeah,
that was dope.
But you also got to, like, this education thing is important, but we also got to respect the people who are in the trades. We got to respect those people in the trades. Like the combination of stuff I've been able to accomplish, and like my father's legacy as a welder, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I have done. A lot of my folks was in the trades, construction, brick mason, like I could be anybody,
right,
from this community.
That's dope, man. That's dope, man. So, like I said, coming up in Clarendon County, what was childhood like? What was you doing as a kid? I know you said
I played
science, math.
I played like rec ball and stuff like that, but I wasn't after high. By the time I got to high school, I knew that wasn't my path. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna start using my brain. And that's probably the best decision I made. And but I still was heavily involved in my community.
Right.
The people in my community still got a lot of respect for them. But like I spent a lot of time on the farm. I used to go to Pinewood and get like fertilizer from one of the fertilizer stores. I'll call it soda.
Okay.
Nitrogen, but or going to get seeds or plowing on the weekend or working in some chicken houses, stuff like that. Getting fertilizer for the fields, plowing the tractor. But hey,
so you think that kind of instilled that work ethic in you?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like if I didn't grow up on the farm, I probably wouldn't have some of this work ethic. Like I may be a smart dude, but I'm probably one of the hardest workers you ever meet.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. So as you growing up on the farm and you graduated high school, you went to HBCU.
No doubt, North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, big shout. How important was it for you to go to a HBCU, and what was your experience?
That going to North Carolina A&T and studying engineering was one of the best decisions of my life. Being around so much amazing blackness and culture, smart people. All those, and I almost thought I couldn't make it to A&T. Like that was one of my worst fears. Like, could I really come from a small town such as Manning, South Carolina, and compete with people from across the nation? So I worked really hard, but I also partied and had a good time. Joined Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
But
big shout.
I realized like I couldn't go back. I had something to go back to. So I'm not saying I'm ashamed of where I'm from, but I knew like if I succeeded there, may help open doors from somebody else.
Right.
And to come from Clarendon County, and actually, I don't really talk about it a lot, but I actually graduated at the top of my class in A&T.
Oh yeah. We read about it.
I read about it.
We read about it, brother. That's big, man.
So to graduate at the top of your class in engineering, coming from a small town like Clarendon County, public school. I didn't go to private school. I went to public school. I want to make sure I said that, because some people are like, oh, you might went to private school. No, I went to public school.
Right. So, like I said, being in college, we taking it back, giving some context for the people. Being in college, what made you like stay focused like that? Were you able to, make the grades and graduate top of your class? College, some people go have a good time.
People get caught up at HBCUs, or any college. But I knew, like, let's take this thing back. In Clarendon County, in Summerton in particular, you got these court cases, Briggs versus Elliott and Brown versus the Board of Education. You don't have education and integrated classroom without those people sacrificing. So the journey for education for me, like I thought about what those individuals did for me to sit next to white and black people in my classroom. But then also, like, I knew, like, what my parents and my grandparents sacrificed for, like, being farmers and landowners. Like, education was fundamental. Like, I went to college because that was the best passport you had.
Right. That's a bar right there, man.
That's the best passport you had. I'm not saying like education is everything, but I also say you can't belittle some of the things I've accomplished in life. It wouldn't have been possible without education. To test rocket engines, whether in Mississippi and Utah, fly across the country. See some things in space see rockets go up.
That's dope, man.
That's
amazing, man.
Seeing like Dr. Ryman there in Lake City, South Carolina, and dying in Challenger.
Yeah.
This thing's full circle.
Right. So I know after North Carolina A&T, you went over to Duke for your master's. What was that experience like?
Going to Duke for my master's and PhD was a very humbling experience for me, because at that moment I realized I'm not longer competing with the best in America. I'm competing with the best in the world. And that is when it realized, I'm like, yo, this is serious. People are coming here to get an education. But I got to compete and hold my own, because this is ours in the South. Yeah, America is ours. Yeah. So I'm not gonna just give that up.
Right.
But I also want to contribute. But no, that was humbling. But I learned about, like, not only just education, I also understand about, like, people who own businesses, like, to create jobs. We go to school and get an education, but we also have a responsibility to go create jobs, and creating jobs create wealth.
Right. Definitely, man. So after college, what was you doing after college? We trying to paint a picture for the people.
After college, I went to graduate school for 5 years at Duke, studied mechanical engineering with a specialty in air elasticity, which is basically how you study how aircraft wings vibrate during flight. Yeah. Did research on studying, like, what happens if a hole came in during a war, in layman's terms. And after that, I took a job with NASA in Mississippi.
Took a job with NASA. We talking big motion right now.
Man, y'all
I know you ain't gonna gas it like me, but I'm gonna gas it. and I'm on this good spirit, so don't mind me.
Don't mind. Hey, we don't mind that.
Yeah, man. Got some good stuff here. Carry on, my brother.
And so, like, I went to work for NASA, and the Hidden Figures movie people talk about, that stuff real. Just because you see me here, don't think it's a whole lot of us in the technical fields working at a place like NASA. Not many.
Yeah, that's why I said we can't let that go by, man.
So I'm just, hopefully I could be in a position to better help. If a kid want to come back and they want to go to space camp, maybe one day I could help send them to space camp or something like that, because I never had the opportunity to go to space camp.
Right, man. That's beautiful, man. And we definitely gonna do whatever we can to support that. We connected with a lot of youth in the community. So, with all these things going on, you in your career, like I said, NASA, that's amazing, man. What made you say, man, I got to go back to the grassroots? I saw where you was going back, interviewing a lot of people, and you saw that, like you said, they didn't look like us, but you still went back and got the history. You was talking to different people that you knew was pit masters or barbecuers. What made you really take a deep dive in that and really say, hey, I got to put on for the culture?
Man, everybody in Clarendon, Sumter County, Williamsburg, Florence, they cook whole hog barbecue. I mean, just probably during the holiday season, they cook hogs don't stand a chance. And when I looked at it, man, I just didn't see anybody look like me. And everybody I knew growing up was cooking whole hog barbecue. I may be a face of barbecue across the country, but I knew it was a whole lot of people who looked like my father.
Yeah.
My uncles who cook whole hog. And I mean, a lot of other people who had uncles and fathers. In my community, in like a 5-mile radius, I knew I had 10 or 15 barbecue cooks. Mm-hmm. I mean, great barbecue cooks. Yeah. Not no pretend
legendary.
Legendary. I mean, they goats. I mean, like people look up to me, but they were really goats. Mm-hmm. And their names keep coming up around the fire. So I say, you know what, I got a responsibility for them to make sure their legacies are honored and protected. Because what we did in barbecue was amazing.
Yeah. You took on a big task, man. So we definitely appreciate you for that, man, because those stories got to be told. What do you think it got lost at? Because from my understanding, we kind of started that, so what do you think, where they got lost at for us?
We don't, a lot of our history is oral, man. Yeah. A lot of our history is oral, and sometimes when we grow up in an environment, we take it for granted. Mm. It wasn't until I left it, like I realized how special and significant it was. So I grew up cooking whole hog, and I kind of look at it sort of like an outsider, but I really was an insider, especially since I was cooking since age 11 by myself, not talking about like 4, 5 years old cooking and slaughtering hogs with my family. So I knew stuff that a lot of people didn't know, and then they say, oh, this is what really triggered it, though. Real talk, this is what really triggered it in New Orleans. Once I got back in and I wanted to give back, one of these articles came out in Fox News and said, like, America's most influential pitmasters. And they said they didn't have any black people on the list. And then some of the rebuttals came back and said the most influential pitmaster was enslaved Africans, enslaved Americans. I really want to say enslaved Americans because they really wasn't Americans at that point. They wasn't really Africans.
Right.
One or two generations in. We were born on these soils at that point. And so when I saw that, and I saw like some images of how like they were cooking in the ground. I remember growing up, my father told me he cooked whole hog barbecue in the ground, and I looked at the pigs, and I'm like, oh, this is the exact same thing. So this thing go deep into slavery. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna make sure these stories come back up.
That's dope, man. I really appreciate you for taking the time and still on that journey. Taking that time and showing people how it's done and showing people the history of it. We seen you on all the TV shows, man, and I didn't even know you at the time, but I watched the TV show. I don't know if it was on Netflix or it was somewhere.
I think it was Man Fire Food was on Cooking Channel. I was really proud about that moment.
Yeah.
Then do some work with PBS.
Man.
Hosting a co-producer show with PBS.
Got a lot of content out there, man. A lot of
content is how you really relate and get your word out there. I don't care what field of the media in, whether it's rap, you got to keep pushing content out, whether it's a blog, podcast. And so if you're in music, you need to do those mixtapes. And don't care if nobody watching what you're doing, because eventually somebody might keep seeing you putting out that content, and sometimes you got to take the stuff where people are. Like, people don't know, like, I traveled all across the South. I took this barbecue story across the country. I took it to Denver, Colorado. I mean, I took it to San Francisco, to the Bay Area. I went up north. I went to Trinidad. Like, I went some places taking this barbecue culture.
Right. So South Carolina, and I guess you could say in particular Clarendon County area, Sumter County area, what's something you think is real distinct about the way we do the whole hog here?
I think the barbecue sauce is distinct. Also, I think in this we one of the few places in the country still do whole hog, and not outside of a restaurant. We do it in the backyard. Yeah, and so that is very unique to most of the country. I mean, you got some pockets in eastern North Carolina, but here in Clarendon County, the PD area, and the Low Country of South Carolina, that whole hog is a staple. Yeah. And that's significant.
Oh yeah, definitely. So moving even further, you was golden in that. Big shout out to all the OGs and legendary guys who taught you everything you know. So let's talk about them real quick. I know your dad was a big part of your learning, but anybody else? What was that like growing up? How many hogs you think y'all cooked back then? Man, let's go through the journey. 'Cause 11 years old to now. I mean, what was it like?
I mean, it could have been easily 5 or 6 a year. Then at some point, it could have been every other week. Yeah. Or I just, like, as a kid, I just found cooking hogs fascinating. So I go to my uncle's house, who was cooking, rest in peace. A couple of other uncles, rest in peace. And then names keep coming up when people were cooking hog. It was just goats, man. Jack Johnson,
talk heavy.
Riley. Like, people don't know those names, but those names, every time I cook a hog, those names kind of came up in conversations.
That's legendary. That's why it's
nobody don't know who these folks are.
But that's why it's so important what you're doing, man. It's so in line with what we're doing, because we've been bringing on legendary DJs, and because people start dying off.
They start dying off, man.
And you never get the story. And they've done legendary things. I remember one time, like, some of these guys was the only DJs. So now you got All type. Anybody with a laptop's a DJ. So we've been bringing on legendary DJs. We talking 30, 40 years ago, telling us how it was, and we trying to catch everybody we can. We got people that's currently doing their thing, but we really the inspiration came. We wanted to catch people that that's older, that maybe be retired and not doing it no more, but they was legendary. They was at the coast of this thing. And we had a lot of them on here getting their story, man. And they got so much stories, so much game. So that's why I love what you're doing, man.
The fundamentals is the same. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to come on here, because like being in media, being in TV media, those contracts are the same, man. Juju from the Bando, really, that episode.
Yeah. Big shout out Juju from the Bando.
Like, I listened to it, so like she understands the contracts. Media is media, no matter what the field is, whether it's rap, books, TV. It's the same thing, man. And so like what y'all doing, big ups to what y'all doing for real.
I appreciate it, man. We 8 months in, learning as we go. But it's been a great journey, man. We're getting better and better. So we got big dogs like you coming on. Juju from the Bando. We had realtors on here, mortgage lenders, man. Everybody been coming on here just telling us about their journey through entrepreneurship and in the perspective, whatever they have going on. So we appreciate everybody, y'all. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep on supporting us. March will be a year. We're going to keep this thing going for the culture and for the people. But getting back to the story, man. So what made you say, you know what, I'm going to get into the spirit game?
Man, that's not all me. It's my part of my business partner vision. Like one day y'all gonna get to meet that goat. Yeah, he's a goat.
I wish he was coming.
Man,
those are guys
I know you. I think like you got to coach those guys.
Yeah.
To get in front
a lot of them don't want to be. A lot of them do not want to get on the camera. I'm like, yo, we need you here.
So that's the reason
y'all know all the stuff.
Y'all know all the stuff. So that's the reason I kind of like. I appreciate the podcast platform, but when you start talking about the video, them guys ain't talking.
Yeah, they ain't with that.
So all jokes aside, like the whole thing, we started, and then I got involved with it, and I said, you know what, like let's take this thing.
Yeah.
At first, initially, I wasn't really interested in it. I helped fill out the paperwork. Then I came back. It hit me during an interview, like, and this was in 2019.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, we need to do this, and I said, okay, let's go. And before I went to Africa, we start designing the stuff to make our spirits, man. This is not no package where I'm a brand and I'm paying somebody else to make my alcohol. We actually producing the spirits in house.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sell a spirit that I don't produce in house unless I going down to the Caribbean and buying the rum and bringing it in. But I don't really want to do that. Yeah. I really want to make all the spirits that we pour, so when I know what's 100% in your glass.
Man, that's beautiful, man. We appreciate you, doing that for the culture, man, keeping it pure. So what's the correlation, what's the relation to, this good old, back in the day, we call it stump hole liquor, corn liquor, to that whole hog, man?
Hey, every time somebody cook a whole hog, and correct me if I'm wrong, that stump hole, that corn, that showed up. It wasn't even called moonshine.
Yeah,
It's very rare. They may call it shine.
Yeah.
But they ain't call it moonshine, but that's the government. You got to do what the government says.
Yeah, man.
But it was always there. Whether it was, most of the time it was in a gallon milk jug.
Yep.
Sometimes you may see the guys slip it over to the side in a mason jug.
Yep.
But it was always there, and I was too young to partake of it at the time. To be honest with you, I was too young to partake of it. But it was lock and step, and and even in our community, it was always in the in parallel to barbecue.
Yeah, definitely, man. I remember as a child going down to the country, Westfield area, hanging out with my grandmother, take us down there, and my granddad, I remember going to the grocery store, getting big bags of sugar. I didn't know really what was going on, but I remember that. And I remember, the hog hanging from the tree.
The hog hanging from the tree when they getting ready to gut it.
Yeah, I remember all that. And I remember, I used to hate going to the country because we would be out there all day and all night. And RP, my grandmother, she was like, all right, we're going to the country, but we ain't staying all day. And I see a hog on the tree, I know we're going to be there all day, all night.
That was a setup.
They playing cards. They taking a shot of the moonshine, chasing it with water.
Just having licking the salt.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just having a good time, man. So I know what you're talking about. I know that nostalgic feel, man. So that's why it's so great what you're doing. and I think I know it's going to take off beyond we can even imagine. So, where can people find us at?
So, we doing some stuff in Paxville. We got a piece of property where we're distilling the spirits, and in the new year we're gonna actually have more consistent hours. We worked on this project 3 years before I even shared it to the world.
Ooh,
like we went into the lab, went into the woods, and just kind of like focus on the project and the process, so you could get the smoothest stump.
Yeah,
this is not. I mean, like there's some great ones in the woods, but they ain't no. I don't know if they don't compare to this.
It's smooth, y'all. Trust me, it's smooth. I done been at a lot of backyard parties and card games, and I hit it. I got to back off it. This, I can really just slow sip it, and it's really smooth. It's really smooth, man.
So that's one of the reasons why people didn't know about it. We wanted to focus on the process. We want to make sure our stuff is right. We want to make sure y'all got something unique and resonate with us. Like even down to the packaging. This packaging is very unique.
Yeah.
When you see this packaging, if you know anything about it, or you heard about the culture, you be like, you know what? That milk jug.
Oh yeah.
It may be a little bigger, but you know what was in it.
Oh yeah.
So that speak loud and clear to the folks, and I think people like. I hope people embrace it. I hope the community support it, because the community support it. I'm gonna support the community because I want to bring some things here. I want to bring some music things here and do like an expo, to bring some exposure. Because like when you start bringing the people together, you need 3 things: food, music, and spirits.
That's fact.
And you have a good time, man.
I was telling somebody that earlier. I said one thing about certain products that's gonna move. I said alcohol. People gonna eat good and they gonna have a good time and party. You know, those are 3 things that, you know, especially here. That's what we do, man.
And I say I got my hand in 2 of them, but I don't have my hand in the 3rd
hey
one.
hey man, you with the guys, so what you want to do? Let's get it.
Yeah, I got my hand in 2 of the 3, but
yeah.
And I know some good guys in the 3rd one, so I'm glad to be here. But all jokes aside, I know that the music piece will make this thing, or the entertainment field will make this thing go, and we could do some positive things in the community.
So what's the journey been like, man? Like you said, 3 years before you even brought it to market. You know, we talk a lot of great things about it, that's good, but for anybody that may be inspiring to do something similar or just be an entrepreneur, what's the journey's been like? You know, ups and downs. You know, anything you want to share you went through? Man,
this is a hard one. You know, like we had COVID in the middle of this. We started out 2019 again. Then in the spring, COVID hit. You got to dig deep as an entrepreneur or visionary. You can't let nobody deter you or your plan either. Like you got to know what the roadmap is. And so when COVID hit, though, you know what, that tested both of us. Tested me, I'm a business partner. But what pushed me through? This is what pushed me through, and it wasn't even alcohol related. Our community needed something. People talking about, distilleries can make hand sanitizer. I'm thinking about this community. They can't make no hand sanitizer in our community. Clarendon, something to counter. We got to hope somebody bring something in. We got all these moonshiners, bootleggers, corn growing in the field, but we can't make hand sanitizer. I say this is a capability that the community lacks. And I say, you know what, like I'm going to dig deep. And so COVID was literally a blessing in disguise, but it really took a whole lot of digging deep, soul searching. Forget the money. The money is irrelevant. I mean,
that's a bar. Y'all gotta hear that. Y'all gotta hear that.
The money is irrelevant. I mean, I'm not saying it's cheap and inexpensive to get into the spirits game, because it's not. We have a big responsibility with this product. Not just to have a good time, but we have a moral responsibility because there's so much can happen with this particular product. Right. Good or bad. But nah, man, we dig deep, man, and it was some of the best things I did. I would probably say some of the engineering problems I solved was probably some of the most gratifying moments in taking what I learned professionally in school and translating it back into the culture. Yeah,
that's big too, man. For anybody out there listening, that's why education is very important, because the way you started out, and you took it back, something that's heartfelt to you. You grew up, around and doing, and was able to apply that to, being a pit master, apply it to creating a spirit. It just speaks volumes to what education is, and learning and understanding what you want to do in life, man. So we appreciate you coming by, man. We want to know, what's all your social media and stuff like that for people that want to follow, stay up to date, what's going on?
So my social media to catch up with me personally is Howard Conyers _ PhD. The distillery is Backyard Distillery LLC. Those two things are IG. That's where you'll find me personally as well as business-wise. Conyers Family Barbecue. You'll find me when I do stuff, and the LLC is Conyers Family Barbecue, and it's basically a media and education event production company that focus on music. I mean, not music, but on telling Black and brown stories of the American South.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to grow that too, because we want to control our narrative. That's very important to control what information goes out. Like I take a lot of pride in that. Like I haven't really brought a lot of big cameras to this particular area, because if I don't own those cameras, the right messenger might not go out. Trust me, I done turned down some opportunity to bring exposure to this area, not because I don't want the exposure, but I think like I want to make sure we represent the best, whether it's Clarendon County, Sumter County, Williamsburg. I want to make sure my people look good, not just me look good. I want to make sure my people look good.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That shows a lot of humility, man. So we appreciate that, my brother. I know you talk about giving back and all the many things you're doing. Let's talk about the Radical Exchange program you're a part of and what that's about.
You did some digging, man.
a little bit.
Radical Exchange. That was a event I did with this young lady named Ashton Berry in New Orleans, Louisiana. It was her event, and she just wanted to kind of bring together the Black food world and just do things Black food and beverage, not just food world. It was beverage. Like she's really big in the beverage industry. And that's a space that we're not in. Y'all understand, we're not in this beverage space, and people doing it for the money, but you can't just do it for the money. You got to do it for the love of it, but you got to do it for the money too. It's generational wealth tied up. I know people talk about these other big brands and Nearest Green and those kind of legends, but we have many Nearest Greens in these woods. Around here. I mean, legendary. I mean, men and women, black and white.
I can't wait to hear the stories, man. I know you're gonna roll them out whenever it's time to.
I'm gonna roll some of them out. Some of them might have to take to the grave or give them some aliases, because I'm gonna protect those individuals. I'm gonna protect those individuals and their legacies, because they did something significant. And I actually went and talked to a few. I have talked to a few legendary ones. I mean, like I know we talked about some offline, but I talked to some legendary ones.
What was those conversations like, man?
Man, I'm still taking notes from them because I couldn't record. So, like, I got to put it in their memory. So, I'm putting it to paper right now just because of what they went through, how they had to carry it in the wood. Like, they did businesses, but they did businesses in a way, and their community supported them. And so, if the community supports you, you can make it.
Yeah, man. That like I said, growing up, man, I can remember seeing gallons of that stump around the crib, and I used to put it back. So we all know about that. You know, everybody in the South know about that, especially Sumter County, Clarendon County, Lee County. We all know about that. We all can go to somebody and they can name 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 legendary people that's been cooking those hogs and making that stump pole.
Well, you may not know the people cooking the stump pole.
Well, you know, you got to really be in tune
to the culture.
Yeah, you're right. I know. I mean,
we'll leave that alone.
But
you know who cooked the barbecue, but you very rarely knew who made the liquor until you saw them busted in the paper. And we're gonna change. We're not gonna change that, but we're gonna make sure that the quality of product. I know you got the clear right here, the traditional. But we're gonna also innovate this thing. Like we did a barrel finish. We put it in oak barrels. And turn it brown. And that's something leveling up, like taking our culture and expanding on it. I did a sweet potato moonshine. Like the things I'm going to do in this.
I got to get some of that, man.
Hey, man, it's only 40 bottles of that joint.
I thought you was going to bring me one of them joints, man.
Hey, that's a limited edition, man.
Oh, man, this is Big Motion Podcast.
I'm holding back.
You holding back, you know, and it's the holidays. That would have been perfect.
That perfect.
We're going to have to talk about that later, bro.
I wasn't sure I was going to drop that, though. You know what really inspired?
That's why I need to test it out for the people.
When I decided to drop that, I thought about, like, sometimes you see these artists, and they just say all of a sudden, I think I'm going to drop this on Christmas Day or something.
Ooh, yeah. Exclusive.
And so I say, you know what? I'm going to just drop it.
Exclusive, man.
And so, the reason I did this thing, I dropped it sort of casually on social media. I think you got wind of it through some people I know ain't mad. And
big shout Ty Obama. That's my guy.
Ty Obama.
Yeah, man. Tyshawn.
Big cuz, little cuz. Really.
Man, one of the realest, most thoroughest guys I knew. Met him in middle school playing football and all that. And Ty's one of them guys, everybody know Ty. He know everybody. He been everywhere. And I seen it. And like I said, it automatically brought back nostalgia. I was like, what's that? And I read it. I was like, nah, I got to tap into that. Because I wanted to see what it's about. Because I know that. I know what that is, man. So I was like, man, I was very proud of that. And I was thankful that, you took the time to chop it up with me, even brought me a couple of complimentary bottles of that, man. So we're going to keep pushing it. We're going to keep letting people know about it because it's very important for people, to know about it and support it. And like you said, to not only, drinking and support it, have a good time with it, but know the culture behind it, know the history behind it. So we're looking forward to any content or any projects you got coming out.
Oh yeah, the content gonna be real. Like I'm paying people to write stories. Of course, so other people gonna write stories. Like I'll eventually drop a barbecue and spirits podcast or something.
Ooh,
like
man.
that I host.
You got to do that, bro.
I think people not ready. I mean, I'm gonna drop a book. I'm writing a book now with a major publisher.
Yeah.
Well, I say it.
Big Motion.
A major out of New York, one of the top 5 publishers in the world. So
Big Motion. Y'all understand who we got in the building right now. But I appreciate you for coming, bro.
So I'm going to drop that, but all jokes aside, I'm going to do this podcast because people say they need to hear my voice. Sometimes I just stay in the background and stay in the woods and do the work.
You got a wealth of knowledge. You trying to beg them old guys, man. Come on, man.
Hey, that's how I was trained.
We just talked about that.
That's how I was trained, So I was trained by those old guys, and I say, let me move like they move because they were successful with it. I do speak a little bit more for them, so that's the reason I kind of.
You got to be you the voice now, man. You that young energy. You the voice.
A voice, yeah. So y'all hear more from me, and all jokes aside, like I'm gonna share some stuff through various digital platforms. Like we don't have to wait anymore with all these digital platforms. We need to learn how to use these as tools in our game to get where we want to be.
Facts, man. And like I said, it's so many. It's an entrepreneurship boom going on amongst our people. So when people see someone like you that's moving, having big motion, they get inspired. And you drop so many bars here today in a short time. So imagine you got 30, 40 episodes, man. That's gonna be touching somebody. That's gonna be teaching someone. That's a learning thing. Just like we have Jim Lee Barbecue here. They out of Sumter, South Carolina. They bottled up here locally, and they got them all through the Piggly Wigglies. They moving around doing their thing. So that can be a networking opportunity.
Yeah, they should. I mean, I just tell them maybe they'll listen to this one day. I mean, I do some work with Kingsford Charcoal, consult for one of them. I mean, that's a pretty big brand.
Say that again.
Kingsford Charcoal.
Man, Big Motion, man.
Developer program for them called Preserve the Pit.
How did that come about?
Just doing all this years of work, man. These folks start watching you. Man, you never know who watching you. Literally, like, I just put out content with their blogs, and people are like, man, the work you put out, man, I'm doing some of this stuff for no money.
Yeah.
Because if I did it for the money, then I would have quit this thing a long time ago.
Right.
But now the spirits thing, like I got to start getting my money back. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, the barbecue cool. I'm starting to get some of my money back on that too. But like at some point, like you got to be like realistic because you don't want to affect your household, man.
And we're gonna leave it at that. Yeah, man. Well, it's out here to market.
It's out here to market for sure.
I've seen a lot of people posting about it here locally. And like I said, the stuff is good. The branding is good. The packaging is good. Y'all did a great job, man. It's going to go far, brother. Y'all got to keep pushing it, keep getting in these, different spaces. I know you're going to do that. So
I'm gonna go everywhere with this thing, man. Y'all, I mean, don't let this education thing fool you all. If I got to go into Chitlins, quote unquote, juke joint circuit, backwoods, travel this thing around, I don't mind. And that's where it's gonna work at. They still out there. They partying, man. Those Southern Soul parties and those big festivals, man, they have those things every weekend, bro. Yeah, somewhere. So I got to navigate some of the legal laws, of course, because once it's legal, you got different things you got to do and can't do. But I'm gonna go where I can take it because I know it. I have to go to find the people. I have to go find my following, and nobody gonna come to me. And that's. I'm saying this for people in other fields, just in music and stuff like that. You got to go where your folks are. Like if you got to go to these clubs, these nightclubs. Man, talk to the artists real quick, man. You want me to they stuck on the internet. Nah, man, going to the internet is cool, but you still got to relate to the people, man. Like I don't mind going hanging out with the people. I don't go to clubs anymore like that, but I may pop my head in. done kind of did that phase, but I pop in on occasion. But you gotta go where the people are. If you don't go, they're not gonna find you.
Yeah, that's facts, man. That's facts. That's
and
facts.
And I would say in these rural places, man, I think like, and I may be wrong, I think if we bring some people here, and they get to see, like, if I bring hypothetically some folks from New Orleans who were big, they'd be like, oh my goodness, why these folks here?
Yeah.
But I went out and get them because I knew them, and they probably come on the strength of me. I mean, I'm about to pay them, but you gotta go where the people are, man. Yeah. And no matter what the club type is.
Yeah. You're right, man. That's what we pushing, man. I tell all the artists, man, get off your phone, get off your computer, go out. Whether it don't even have to be a club, go to a networking event. If it's a big festival in the next state over, go hang out.
Go hang out.
You know,
say can't get a song, can't perform. You might can't drop you the bag,
right?
But take that opportunity, or somebody may say, you know what, I'm just throwing it out there in case somebody listens to this. I might say, you know what, like you might be trying to shoot a video, and I might say, you know what, like, well, how much it costs you to shoot your video? I might say, yo, might be with the right product placement, I might sponsor part of the video.
Exactly, man. You never know who
you never know.
Into, man.
You never know. You might say, I don't know how much these videos cost to shoot, but I might say, you know what, like, hey, I might for some product placement, I might drop a bag.
Exactly, man. Networking, man. Cross promotion.
Cross promotion. And so like that's what it's about, man.
Man, we appreciate you, man. And like I said, it's an honor for you to be here. I'm looking forward to all the amazing things that's coming down the pipeline. And
it's an honor for me to be. I mean, it's an honor for you to invite me to kind of work me in your tight schedule. I know I'm not here full time being in New Orleans, but I appreciate you working me in. But like, this community means a lot to me, all jokes aside. The 803 means a lot. Yeah. People talk about Charleston and all that, but the 803 is very special.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. 803, where is that, man?
We about to show them. We about to show them.
Yeah,
we here. We never left, but we about to show them again. Like,
yeah, man. That's why I'm glad you are here, because it's a shift happening right now, and for you to be the one of the people that come through, and blazing that trail along with others, that's what we need. Because like I said, everybody is trying to find their way through entrepreneurship right now. So they need those guiding lights. I do vendor events, I do business workshops. So trust me, people got ideas, but they don't know.
They don't know. And what I'm going to say, not to cut you off, I left because I ain't had no choice, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to go somewhere and see something different. You got to see exposure. Exposure matters. But then this is the thing I kind of hate growing up. Nobody came back. So I say, you know what, like, it's going to be hard. It's hard. I mean, like, I could be comfortable not coming back with my day job and profession. But I say, you know what, I'm going to come back and try to do something here. Now, if y'all don't receive it, hey, I'll take it and go where I could. Yeah. Where I'm going to really level up. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing personal, but.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely.
But I want to give it a try. I could build up New Orleans, Louisiana, but I also want to build up South Carolina where I come up.
Yeah, man. That's like I said, so much humility, man. That's great, man. We need that here. We need people to see, people that's blazing the trail. I can't say that enough, because seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing.
Representation matters.
Right. They can look on social media all day and see successful people that look like them, but when you tell your story, say, man, I'm riding Manning, man.
I went to Manning High School, lived in Paxville, went to church.
I mean,
Paxville. So it's kind of like,
from youth all the way up to adults, man. They watching this, they hearing your story, and now they tuned in to people like you. That's like, man, he did it. I know I can do something. I got to figure it out.
You can definitely do it, man. It's the world is yours. Yeah. I mean, I've been a lot of places, even globally. I mean, like, when I went to West Africa.
How was it over there?
Everybody from the American South need to go to West Africa. We can't believe what we see on TV.
Right.
We need to go. I mean, I went over to Ghana, I went to Senegal, I went to Nigeria, I went to Cape Verde.
Talk that talk, man. Big motion.
I just wanted to understand for myself firsthand what it was like.
Yeah.
And that helped me put things in perspective. You got to think about this. I'm gonna drop this. I don't know if anybody gonna hear this. We are the best of the best that survived the journey. We were kings and queens before we came over here, but then we survived a journey and the experience in the Americas that nobody could really fathom. Yeah. And create such amazing things. Yeah. We were able to create. So that tells you we have a level of greatness in us that nobody else has.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad you telling the story, man. We got. You know, some people they tapped in, but some people you got to bring it to them.
You got to meet the folks where they are. That's all those are. You got to meet them where they are, and
because knowledge of self is important. You got to know who you are, where you came from, and that instills that confidence in you to say, "Hey, man, I can do this too.
I could do this too."
I'm somebody. You love yourself, so we thank you, man. Let's keep pushing this thing. We're gonna definitely be supporting you any way we can. I gotta get some of that sweet potato, man. You know,
we might could take a shot or two of that. I might can't leave you the whole bottle of that.
I mean, you know, I thought we was boys, man. You know,
hey, man, hey, I told you I'm tuning into the culture, man. You know, I got receipts. I made one call. And I do the plugs.
Oh yeah, definitely. We ain't gonna bring up.
We ain't bring it up. I'm just saying, like, I'm tuning in.
We had an off-camera conversation about some things and a few calls, and you was calling names, and he plugged in. He knows what's going on.
Don't let this thing fool you.
I'm focused.
You focused. Yeah, but no, all aside, I really appreciate this. I hope it inspires someone. But definitely. We're gonna move this product forward. Yeah. This may be the thing that really, like, all the southern states had this, right? Mm-hmm. You go into the store and you get moonshine. Yeah. Ain't this though?
Nah, man, that ain't right, man. They try to bring it to market, but it ain't right.
Is this the real thing?
That's the real thing, brother. I'm stamping this right here, and I've been around this my whole life. I'm stamping this right here, and we gonna keep pushing. We gonna get some of I want to get some of the OGs, some old heads to, you know, get that real review on it. You know,
hey, some of the OGs already kind of said like yo,
y'all
boys, I don't know what y'all know, but y'all know some stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of OGs have already stamped it.
Yeah, like, man, I see it. I'm hearing about it. I'm seeing it because I'm tapped in too. So I'm like, okay.
But what I'm excited about, I'm seeing some of these young folks saying, "Yo, I could drink this."
Man, listen, the young people on that, man. And that clear better anyway, and that stuff in the store is not. Even though this is the store too, but this is, you know, when you talk about what we grew up from, this is the closest thing to it, and it's way better for you. Like
we know everything.
You're making it
yourself.
There. You know, so guys, listen.
We're growing the corn.
Yeah. Everything. So you can't get nothing better than this right here. You gotta tap into this. We're gonna get some bartenders to make some signature drinks. We're gonna push this thing, man. Definitely, man. So any news we need to know about, you know, any distribution gonna be happening soon. We wanna know, man, because I know we wanna be able to go in the store and get us 3 or 4 of them things at any point.
I mean, I think y'all that's gonna come.
Yeah.
But what y'all fail to realize, we don't own no distribution companies. Just think about that for a minute.
You gave me a bar just now.
I want y'all to look up something called a 3-tier distribution system and prohibition. But y'all don't own that. But the culture knows a way to move the product. Yeah. The only thing is different. We legal. Yeah. And y'all know who we are. Right. Our name on it. Yeah. So I got to give y'all quality every time. Like, every time we run that, we got to be, our name is on there. Like my name not physically on there, but like I take a lot of pride because one of those men on there on that bottle represents me.
Facts. Big shout out to the OG, man.
And then the OG out there, he's on there too. So it's bittersweet. Y'all don't know this thing is real. Yeah. Like, it's real in the field. Yeah. I told myself in 2020, I went into the woods of the American South to get something. And I went to get it. Yeah. I didn't want this tradition to go into the cemetery. Right,
man. It's big of you, man.
Yeah, so
man, trust me.
My teacher was legit too. I mean, my teacher was, man. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my teachers, man. I mean, even in this, I'm thankful for my teachers. He gave me a great fundamental, hands-on education. Yeah, I came back, sit down with the science, and say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's make this the best product we can make. Yeah. So when people think about South Carolina moonshine, people think about moonshine in America, South Carolina get remembered, not just Tennessee.
That's big, man. He putting on for us, y'all.
I'm trying
putting on for Carolina, man.
I'm trying to put on for y'all.
That's what it's about, man. Y'all got to support this, man. Backyard Distillery. You got to support this. He putting on for us. Yeah, we know how many people putting on for us for real.
Like, literally. You know? I mean, you could check the receipts. My receipts are out there. Yeah. You could check any of my interviews.
Definitely, man. I Googled your joint. It was so many.
No, but I'm saying my receipts where I say I shout out I make writers and publications put out Man in Paxville, South Carolina. I don't shy away from I grew up in Columbia. Nothing wrong with Columbia or the Metro. Nothing wrong with that. Chucktown, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I make them put I'm from Clarendon County.
Man, that's noble, man. We appreciate that. Because we got athletes, we got entertainers that either they was here through military, they breezed through here for a minute, they moved away. They don't show us that love, man.
Nah, man, I show it, man. It gets so bad. Like I went to A&T, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I put on a South Carolina State hat.
Yeah, I see that.
I
saw that one of those shows that you had his hat on.
I they HBCU in South Carolina. I'd rather rock their hat, and nothing against USC or Clemson, but that's HBCU.
Yeah, man.
I'm from South Carolina. Let me put on for them. Let me put them on the spotlight.
Gotcha.
Since I can't put an A&T hat on in out of state, I want to make sure South Carolina get their just due.
Right, man. So now that we got you here, and this is a hip hop based, platform. We talk a lot of small business. We talk about a lot of big motion stuff like that. We gotta ask you before you get out of here. Top 5 rappers dead or alive, my brother.
Top 5: Biggie, Tupac. I'm trying to think who I like in New Orleans that y'all may not know.
Taking it to the NO.
He's not a rap artist though. I'm gonna go with DJ Jubilee.
Big shout DJ Jubilee. That's dope.
Jubilee. I'm gonna go with
dope.
Jubilee.
Throw a curveball in there.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there.
That's big, man.
The next 2 I'm gonna go with something about Foxy Brown. I like. I don't know why, but
I'm respecting that one.
And Nas.
Big shout to the Queen. Okay. You got into that King's Disease 3?
Not yet, but I'm gonna get into it though.
Man, that joint sound good. I think for me it's album of the year.
You think so?
Yeah, man.
Nas came back like that.
I'm into the bar, so I know somebody younger than me might say, "Nah, you tripping," and he linked up with Hit Boy, who so it's really like that, man. He gave you that feeling.
Yeah, no, those are top 5 I like, man.
That's dope. That's a dope list, man.
I mean, it may not be your list, but it works with me, man.
I asked for yours, so it was similar. Pac, Big, Jay. I ain't gonna get into my list, but anyway.
It's hard though, man. We got some good ones out here.
Yeah, we do. That's why some people are like, man, let's do top 10 or whatever. I'm like, man, not top 5. That's the thing, top 5. That's the barbershop argument. That's what we around the bonfire talking about, So we always do top 5. So we appreciate you sharing that with us, man.
That's some top 5 for real.
We appreciate you sharing. Well, anything else you want to leave the people with? A message? Anybody that's trying to make it? Anybody that's looking on that you can give them some kind of wisdom, some kind of game?
Don't let anybody stop your dreams. Yeah. Dream don't cost you anything. Dream as big as you think you possibly can.
Yeah.
That dream is free.
Yeah.
I got big dreams.
Yeah, man.
But you got to put work into them. Nobody gonna give you nothing. You got to get it.
Yeah. I appreciate that word, man. Like I said, I've been following you. I've been watching you, man. And I was like, man, I'm mad. I ain't knew you before now, man.
Hey, man, I came into town. When I come home.
Big motion, man.
I come into town, dip in, dip out.
And I seen the video years ago. And I was like, it's the same dude. I'm like, okay.
That was the shocker. I knew, this right here was going to shock the barbecue thing shocked a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But this right here.
Yeah, man.
Going to shock a lot of people.
Man, this is big, man.
I mean,
I know but for the people, this is big. Y'all don't understand how big this is.
I mean, I thought a lot about that packaging, man. The logo.
It's like, is anybody who see that, they know what time that is around here, man. In the South.
In the South, man.
I'm excited
This is us.
I'm excited for it, man. And trust me, I've been at the house slow dragging when I can. I don't got the boys or whatever. So definitely a smooth beverage, man. Y'all got to tap in, support that. Stay tuned.
We're going to do some things. I do want to say that. If y'all keep following, y'all support us, we're going to bring some things here to this area.
We ready, man. We got your back. We're going to rally everybody else.
I'm definitely going to need the music community for sure. I can't do this thing. That's the area I'm the weakest in, and I always know my strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, okay.
But the music area and the entertainment, that's where I'm going to need y'all support.
Gotcha. We here, man.
And other than that, man, we'll take care of the rest.
We here, man. Let's make it happen, man. I can see it now, man. Good barbecue, good spirits, good music. Y'all stay tuned. It's coming, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. It's Bezo 803 on that social media. Big Motion Podcast exclusive interview. Don't worry, he gonna come back
I'm coming back.
You know, in a few months or whenever he can get back, to Carolina. We might have to fly out there to him. We do that on site too. So
y'all want to come out there?
Hey, we done been out to the NO a couple times.
I saw that No Limit label up there.
Yeah. We done, my brother was living in Lafayette.
They ain't the same.
I know.
They ain't NO. I live in NO.
No, but listen. We visited him twice and we went to the NO twice.
Yeah, but y'all ain't. Yeah. You went to the NO, but you ain't went to the NO.
So when I come visit, you got to show me the NO. I thought I was there.
You was there, but you weren't. The NO is a very interesting place. It's not a big city as y'all think.
Yeah.
It's small.
Yeah.
That's the reason I love it. It's like a big country town.
Yeah.
It only got like 400,000 people, but you know everybody. After a while, you know everybody. Like you go in the club and see Juvenile right now.
Yeah.
Juvie
you got
Tuesday.
a night.
Juvie Tuesday.
Yeah, I saw that.
And my boy Wild Wayne hosted, right? So like it's just really.
We coming out there, man.
Y'all need to come out there for real.
We coming out there. I said 2023. We doing some traveling. COVID is over with. We doing some traveling, but I want my travels to be meaningful.
Yeah, if you come out there, you let me know when you come, and I'll let you know when I think you should come. Like one thing, if y'all ever come to New Orleans on the real, y'all should come during Mardi Gras Super Sunday. Something called Super Sunday. You talking about black culture on another level.
That's what I want to experience, man. That's what I want to experience. So we're gonna talk about that, man. We're gonna stay in touch. But y'all make sure y'all support Backyard Distillery. What's the website?
BackyardDistilleryLLC.com.
Right.
We've got the website, got the Facebook group, Backyard Distillery, the IG page. We don't have TikTok or Snapchat, but
hey, it's all coming. It's all coming, y'all.
I mean, I gotta say, but you can't do nothing so much.
Hey, man, you're doing a lot, my brother. So we appreciate you. We're proud of you, man. We're gonna get behind you. We're already behind you, championing you, man. Keep going. Y'all make sure y'all support Backyard Distillery. Y'all make sure y'all support Big Motion Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know what's going on, man. We focus right now. Good stump hole liquor, corn liquor, moonshine, whatever you call it. But it's the best in the game, new to the market, y'all. Trust me, smooth. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
All
for
love.
real, for real.
All love.
Thanks again for inviting me.
Oh, yeah, man. We got to do this again, and we will. We out, y'all. Y'all have a good one.